Pikachu.
Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video at Whole Lot of Drawings, where I like to teach you how to draw your favorite characters step by step. And today we're going to be drawing the character Pikachu. So if you do need help drawing the basic stencil of a circle, then just make sure to grab something that you can trace around. I'm going to use this cup right here, and it can be big or small. It really depends on what you prefer, but just keep in mind that the bigger the object, the bigger your Pikachu is going to be. So just keep that in mind when choosing. So we're going to start off with a circle in the middle of your page here. So grab your pencil and just trace lightly around this object. Okay, so you have his head, and then for his body, there's going to be a same size circle right underneath. They're going to overlap a little bit though. Now we're going to draw some lines for where his ears and his tail are going to go. So for his ears, they're not going to be exactly even on the top of his head. There's going to be one sticking out on the side, like so, and then one at the top, like so. Okay, and for his tail, it's going to be a zigzag motion. So we're going to do just little lines like so, and then we'll do one like that. Okay, so for his arms, we're going to draw just light circles. It's going to be where these two circles right here intersect. That's where that oval is going to go. And then the other one is going to go roughly in the middle of this circle here. Okay. Now his feet, same thing. There's going to be a little oval right underneath this previous one you just drew. And then one sticking out at the bottom. Okay, then you have the rough outline of where things are going to go. Okay, so we'll draw the outline of his head. So we're going to start roughly where this line intersects the circle here, and just draw down, follow the circle. And I like to make thicker lines, so I shade a little bit as I go. And curve downward through the circle. And then we're gonna pop out slightly, creating his cheek. And just a little note, use the side of your pencil so it's not as harsh on your paper. So when you're shading as well, that's a good tip to use to make the strokes a bit more even. Okay, so then we're going to follow the circle down from his cheek, like so. And the top of his head, I'm just gonna follow that circle. And now for your lines, they don't necessarily have to be perfect looking right now. This is just to solidify where your darker lines are going to go. Okay, now for his ear, we're gonna follow that previous line you drew earlier up here. Just follow it up. And then we'll curve down from the point right here, down. And then we'll do the same on the top for his second ear. Just follow that line. And then from the point, travel down. And then the top of his head is going to run a little bit past his ear. Just don't connect it. Leave enough space right here to show that it's a little empty. now we're going to draw a line that goes straight down, so don't follow the circle for this one. Just gonna go straight, and then it's gonna run into the other circle down here, because this is his back. And then we start to follow this circle down here. So straight down, meeting the other circle. Okay, then we just continue to follow that circle down to his bottom foot here. Okay, and then just continue following this circle. This can connect, it's not going to be an open space here. And now for his foot here, I'm going to draw around your oval here. And just follow it down and meet your big circle here. He has some lines if you want to add those in too for his toes. And now for his other leg here, we're going to stick out a little bit further from the circle. And then we will curve straight to his body. So don't follow the circle here, just go straight toward his head here. Okay, now let's get his second foot in here. We're just going to follow your oval that you drew, and then follow it around, going back toward his body. Like so. Then also, just like you did with his other foot, just a few lines. I'll add an extra one here. And his arm will be more triangular, so you don't have to follow your oval for this one. I just kind of use it as a rough guideline here, but you're going to make a triangular shape for his hand. Curve around, and then there will be a hollow curve right here, heading inward and then toward his body, connecting. And then one line, like so. Now for his second arm, we're going to start within his head here, so you have this line from the previous circle. Gonna head down. Like so. And then curve around. And follow your oval. These shapes are meant to help make it a little easier for you to find where your solid lines are going to go. So if you don't like something, you can always erase it if you need to, and then try again. Now I'm going to add a little bit more detail to show that he has some fingers. So I'm going to draw a little lump right here. Then connect to that curve we drew earlier, and then stick out slightly for little bumps to show he has some knuckles, because his hand's in a fist. Okay, and then a little line goes past his thumb here. Okay, so let's get his tail in here now, because he has such a magnificent little tail. So we're going to draw a little triangle here. Okay, and then another one. Follow your line that you drew earlier, your zigzag line. Okay. And a little one up here. All right. And then we're not going to trace exactly where your line is. It's going to be toward the outside of it. Just head straight up. Just follow that line. Okay, and then for his tail, we're going to stick out up from his ear, and then we're going to connect down to this bottom line, like so. Okay, so let's get his cute little face in here. So for his eyes, we're going to start with his left one here. So draw a diagonal line down, and then we're going to do a little curve, like so. Okay, for his second eye, same line. If you do need to use a ruler, you can, just to get more of a guideline of where his second eye is going to start. So you can just use a ruler straight across the page. That's what we'll start his second eye. Draw another diagonal line down. And then same thing, just curve. Okay. Now for some light reflection in his eyes, I'm going to draw little half circles underneath the diagonal line. One is going to be on the inner corner, and then the other one is going to be on the other inner corner. Okay, and then you can lightly color in his eyes. And again, use the side of your pencil. It does make it easier for shading. And this is entirely optional if you'd like to. I'm going to add some depth and make the top of his eye a little bit darker. So I'm just going to shade a little bit longer here, and then leave the bottom of his eye a little lighter. So you can press a little harder with your pencil, and then gradually get lighter as you're going down. And I find it helps to make circular motions with your pencil, not straight lines, just circular motions. That way it blends a bit smoother. And then you'll find that it adds a bit more lifelike characteristics to the eye. And then we'll do the same on the other side. All right. And now for his little cheek circles. This side is not going to be a complete circle because it's somewhat hidden behind his cheek here. And then we're going to draw a circle right here. For his nose, it's going to be roughly in between his eyes here, a little lower. It's just a small triangle. Okay, and then his mouth. Kind of like the bird we learned in elementary school, but upside down. It's like a little mountain. And then for minor details, we'll add in some triangular shapes here for the stripes on his back. And the tip of his ears, you'll have a line showing that it goes from yellow to brown. as well as his feet. Okay, then for his tail, draw a line here, and then a little jagged line right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and color in the tip of his ears. And again, if you want to add some depth, you can. Just make the sides a little bit darker than the middle and gradually get lighter. Okay, now we'll color in his foot here. And then for his tail, same thing. Then I'm just going to go on the outside of the lines here, just to darken it up a bit. Okay, so now that you have your darker outlines done, you can go ahead and erase the lighter lines if you'd like to. So I'm going to grab my eraser. Okay, and then we're just going to erase those lighter lines to clean it up a bit. Okay, so if you did happen to erase any of your darker lines, don't worry, you can always just go over it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, and then now we're going to shade in lightly the stripes on his back. And you can keep it the same pressure if you want to. Otherwise, you can use the method we used earlier for his ears and his feet, as well as his eyes, making it darker than lighter in some areas. So I'm going to make it a little bit darker toward his back here, and then get lighter as it goes toward his arm here. Okay, and then for his cheeks, we'll do the same thing. So now that we finished him, now we just have to draw the lightning around him. So this is the fun part. There's no specific way you have to do this other than just draw small points here and there. So what we'll do is we'll start at the bottom here. And we'll just do little uneven strokes here. Some short, some are long, some are spaced out further. So however you want to do it, just shows that there's lightning involved. He's in an attack pose. It's kind of like you're just scribbling. Well, there you have it, everyone. And don't forget to sign your work as well. You can sign in the bottom right-hand corner or up here, wherever you prefer to do it. I'm gonna choose to do that right here. I hope you're happy with your drawing, and don't forget to check out my direct channel to see more tutorials like this. And feel free to comment down below and let me know if there's anything you'd specifically like drawn as well in any future videos. Just make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon down below to be notified of those future videos. So thank you for joining me here today, and I look forward to seeing you all in another video real soon.